Okay, hope you guys can see me okay. Hi. Well, my name is Paula Jones, whoops, and I'm an author. I write a lot of young adult books, and science fiction, fantasy, and some of them are just, basic romance, young adult novels. And I will be soon be moving into writing mysteries too, hopefully. But anyhow, that's not what I'm here to talk about. Today, I wanted to talk about a book that I read that was really, really good. It's by an author called Lauren Ho, and it is called Last Tang Standing. So I just wanted to briefly review it. I would give this book definitely 5 out of 5 stars. And it's interesting I say that by chapter, because I went up and down with this book, honestly. By the end of chapter one, I was like, I love this. The main character, her name is Andrea, and she lives in Singapore, even though that's not where she's originally from. Um, she has this great dry wit, and she's very smart and she's very professional. She's a lawyer, so she's like really driven and focused on moving up. But her humor, her sarcastic, dry wit, is what carried the first part of this book for me. She's just so funny. So by the end of like chapter one and chapter two, I was like, I love this. I was just laughing hysterically while reading it, because she just takes jabs at people with no mercy. But then something happened. By chapter about seven ish, I think, I fell out of love with Andrea because of the same thing that I liked about her. Her humor is so biting and cutting, and she's so honest about her competitive drive that it sort of made me dislike her. I felt like she was a mean girl. And I stopped rooting for her. And I was like, do I even want to finish reading this book? Because she's just so mean. She was really mean to people. And then I was like, no, I'm going to keep reading because there were still these little, like, I would still laugh at some of her sarcastic humor. So I was like, I'll keep reading it. The more I read it, the more I fell back in love, not only with her and with Singapore in the book, and I also fell in love with the writing itself and the way that Lauren Ho, the author, is so incredible when it comes to portraying realistic characters. Because, yes, Andrea was mean in her head. And I realized because the way the book is set up, it's set up as if you're reading her diary. Like it's the end of the day and she's taken to her diary to write down everything that's happened. So, of course, in her diary, she's more honest than she is in real life. And I started to realize that as she was telling me, the reader, the events of her day, she was relaying them from the honest depths of her heart. So she would say things like, this girl was so ugly and blah, blah, blah. But those words never came out of her mouth. What came out of her mouth was very polite and usually, and showed that she was like, kind of upper class and suave or whatever and professional. And it made me realize, okay, I'm kind of like this girl because I try to be nice to people, just like most of us. I think most of us try to be nice to people face to face. But of course, we have our own, inner feelings about people, or we're like, ooh, their breath stank, or whatever. So I'm reading about everybody's breath being stinky and how people are idiots in her diary, but that's not really the way that she treats people. She's just really funny on the inside. Also, it revealed that she was not being honest with herself about who she was in love with or about her own perception of herself and of the world. I started to dislike her, I realized, because she also disliked herself. Like the mean thing she was saying about other people in her heart, she would say that about herself. But then when I started really noticing what she would say that she was doing, I realized she was super nice in what she was doing. Like she would give people money. She would give people places to stay. She would say kind things to people, support people. Her actions were kind, but in her heart, she hated herself. And she kept putting herself down, just like she put other people down in her heart. So that made me realize, you know what? I do that, and a lot of people do. I think especially women do that a lot. I don't know, maybe men do too. I'm not a guy though, so I don't know. But I know that women do have a tendency to put ourselves down like way too much most of the time. Um, and that was something that this book really made me think about, how we need to be kinder to ourselves. Just like when somebody's breath stinks, you know, we don't tell them, "Ooh, your breath stank. You nasty. Get away from me." You don't say that. You might politely offer them a mint or whatever. So why would I yell at myself, "Your breath stank," or something like that? I don't know why I'm stuck on that analogy, but I am. Perhaps it's because my breath stinks, maybe. But anyway, why did I say that? I think the book was really, really good, and I like that it made me think about seeing people for who they are and realizing that it's okay to be who you are, which includes having sarcastic, negative thoughts about people and about oneself, but also to be honest and to say, just because I feel this way in this moment, perhaps because of my health, my life circumstances, my finances, that doesn't mean that's the way things are and that I'm always going to feel this way. That's part of being honest, like realizing that we evolve and that we are not our circumstances. And I know that might be kind of a weird thing to get out of this book, but that is what I really got out of it, that we are not our circumstances and neither are the people around us. And we should give each other the benefit of the doubt and more of an opportunity to be who we are and just accept each other. So, I really like the book. I think Lauren Ho did an excellent job of giving us an honest view of a character. And also the writing, it vividly portrayed Singapore. It made me want to go there. I've never been there before. Like it really made me fall in love with the culture and want to learn more about the culture because I feel like I don't know enough. But she definitely whet my appetite in that book. So if you like funny characters, if you like stories about driven people who want to succeed, but in the process of succeeding are also forced to take a good, hard, long look at themselves, you will like Last Tang Standing by Lauren Ho. It's an excellent book. All right. Now, speaking of books, I have written, as I mentioned, I've written some books. They're not as good as Lauren Ho's, but one of the YA books that I recently wrote, it's called Basic, and it is about a young, how old is she? A girl named Amanda Hollister, who's about 16 years old, and she's biracial, and she and her mother move around frequently because her mother is a con artist, and Amanda's mother, drags her from state to state as she cons rich men out of money. So you can only imagine how difficult Amanda's life is. But then, when this mother-daughter duo moves to a state in the deep South, and remember, Amanda's biracial, so it's not easy living in the deep South when you're a person of color. This really has an impact on her view, on her identity. She starts to encounter prejudice to a degree that she hasn't before. But she also, for the first time, falls in love and for the first time makes real friends with some of the kids at school. And in the process, she starts to reassess her mother's outlook on life and her mother's chosen profession. And it makes Amanda have to come face to face with herself. Like, and she has to ask herself, do I want to follow in my mother's footsteps and be a liar? Or do I want to do something different with myself? So the book it's a coming of age story from the perspective of a biracial teen living in the South. Uh, yeah, that's it. So if you want to read it, it's called Basic. It's by Paula Jones, and it's on Amazon right now. Also, don't forget to read Last Tang Standing by Lauren Ho because it's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this if you did. And if you want me to review one of your books, like I'm an indie author. So if you're an indie author and you want me to review one of your books, please just click on our copy and paste copy the little link that's in your in the details of this video, and then paste that into your browser, and that will be like a contact form, and you can contact me there, and I will be happy to review your book. All right. Well, I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.